Hello, wonderful viewers. Welcome to another episode of Backstage Showcase. I'm your host, Andrew Bermudez, and today we will be looking at a piece of concept art that I have extracted recently from our archives. Now, typically when it comes to something like concept art, it's usually something from one of our movies. So we have concept art from films like Secret of Marco Polo and Special Delivery and Clone and films like that. And there is concept art about that. However, today I want to look at different concept art. The concept art that we are going to be looking at today is for the Drawn to Life animation logo. If you don't know what Drawn to Life animation is, it's our in-house animation department. But you're probably wondering to yourself, since all of our films are animation anyway, what's the point of having an in-house animation department? Well, the answer to that actually stems back several years. So let's do a quick flashback to an earlier time to see where this originated. Originally, between 2005 to 2009, we had an in-house animation department called Bricktails, and all of our animated films during that time were released under this banner. However, you also have to remember that during that time we also made a lot more live-action films, so that made sense to have a way to differentiate them. But then, The Adventures of Lego Man was released, and then right after that, the Bricktails brand was shuttered. There was a couple of reasons why this happened. The main reason being is that The Adventures of Lego Man basically tainted the Bricktails name, so we wanted to distance ourselves from that. But another big reason was ultimately, since we were moving towards animation at the time, we kind of felt that there was really no point in having an in-house animation department at that time because it was going to become so animation focused. So that was one of our major reasons for getting rid of the Bricktails brand. However, in 2013, I was part of a motion design class at College of the Canyons, taught by Lynn Wild, who is a graphic designer at Blind Incorporated, and also, like I said, teaches at College of the Canyons. And one of the assignments there was to create a logo for a brand new company. Now, at this time, we had already redesigned the Mustache Maniacs Film Co. logo, so that was basically a done deal. But I had also toyed around with the idea of expanding animation, so one of the things I thought to myself was, maybe I could reintroduce the in-house animation department, but introduce it with a brand new name, with a brand new look and style, something that's more modern, something that's more broad, something that can really encompass several different types of animation. And with that, Drawn to Life animation was born. Naming was one thing, but designing an identity for Drawn to Life was an entirely different matter altogether. As you can see, several different ideas were pursued for Drawn to Life animation. You can kind of see up in the upper right hand, almost to the right hand corner, but at the top, third column, you can see that's the final logo there. But you can see all these other logo possibilities that I pursued for some time, these other ideas. But basically, when I was thinking of these different logos, I was keeping in mind different ideas that I wanted to pursue. So I wanted to do something that was very much tied to animation, but also something a little more cinematic. Something that is like a in-between for the two. Some more so towards animation, like you can see some have a light desk. Others are more cinematic. You can see more of the movie marquee look to them. And others go a little more simplistic, like the one that was finally picked. As to explain the one that looks kind of rolled up in the middle row in the far left, why that looks kind of like a burrito, well, let's just say when I was drawing that one, I was a little more than just kind of hungry. And if I remember correctly, I was craving burritos at the time. So if you put two to two together, yeah. You know the saying, starving artist? It can kind of apply in this situation. Once I finished designing all of these different logos, I then gave it over to the class to my fellow classmates that is, to go through the different logos and mark off which ones they liked the best, and by a total landslide, the one that is in the third column top, the one that became the final logo, won by an overwhelming majority. So, and as history would have it, that was the logo that became the official Drawn to Life animation logo. As we've gotten further into Project U, however, I recently slightly revised this logo, giving it more of a texture, giving it a little more of a cracked and aged look to suggest more of the edginess that you're going to find in Project U. But other than that, the logo is pretty much identical to the way it was before. And that concludes today's episode of Backstage Showcase. Thank you for joining me and taking a look at this brief history of the Drawn to Life animation logo design. And don't forget to check out more episodes of Backstage Showcase, as well as all of our movies, including the popular films like Johnny Thunder and the Secret of Marco Polo, Forest of Fear, and Alpha Team Mission Deep Jungle, as well as some of our shorter films, like the newly released films like Clone and New Year's Resolution and so forth. And also don't forget to check out the other parts of our network, such as our wiki, our press room, and our official website at mustachemaniacsfilmco.webs.com. And don't forget to also head over to our press room at mustachemaniacpressroom.blogspot.com, because we are hosting a very important poll over there that could affect the future of some of our past films coming forward in the next couple years. So head on over for that, vote in that poll, and I will see you next time for the next exciting episode of Backstage Showcase.